Have $75 worth of Taco Bell.
$75 worth of Taco Bell.
For how many people?
3.
Whoa. Must be your ghost.
It's gonna smell so bad.
Yep, it probably will.
What's up, guys? I'm Mike.
And I'm John.
And we're the DIY Topic Guys. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the Gabby Petito case. And if you've been living under a rock the last couple of days, weeks, months, whatever it's been, we're going to fill you in and give our take on what's been going on. So make sure you guys subscribe down below, like, comment, ring that bell for post notifications so that you can be up to date on anything else that we decide to talk about. Because that's always the important stuff.
We know best.
Let's hop into this. Let's give a underlying topic of what's been going on with this, because
A little bit of background.
Because I've been living under a rock in certain
That makes
aspects.
two of us. Dead girl. Summed it up.
Dead girl.
Young girl, 22-year-old Gabby Petito, reported missing a couple weeks ago now, probably. Her and her boyfriend went on a cross-country trip. They're one of those van people. You know they are. They take pictures. Look at me. No, it's terrible. And honestly, it's terrible. I almost feel bad about making a jest about it, but it's hysterical in the same sense. So she went missing. Became a big ordeal. FBI involved. That should sum it up.
Yeah. So 2 people, early 20s. I actually don't know how old her fiance was.
He looks a little older than 22.
Went to drive cross country. She had a van, and
Van life.
so they found her body. Not looking good for this Brian guy, but when you know that you're guilty, I guess the best thing to do is run away and use your camping skills.
Run? Yeah, I guess. It seems a little crazy to me.
So I have a lot of thoughts on this, but I'm just going to read through this real quick. We have a brief article of where we kind of stand right now. So the FBI confirmed a couple days ago that a body was found with the description of Gabby. Her parents reported her missing a couple weeks ago, and it's been confirmed that it has been her body at this point in time. So Brian Laundrie returned to Northport, Florida. That's where he lives with his parents, as well as Gabby was living there as well because they are engaged. And he went on a trip with her, came back with her van without her. Then he went out on a camping trip, because that's what he does. When you come back from camping for a really long time, the first thing that you want to do is go camping again.
Bro, you don't understand van life.
Yeah,
Van life. Hashtag van life. You don't even know.
So local and federal authorities are searching for Laundrie and trying to find him right now. So everyone's doing this aspect of it. Let's do the same thing. Let's give a timeline and just
break it down. See how their trip actually went, or how it's allegedly went.
Yeah. So they actually issued a warrant for his arrest at this point, not for being a murderer, but for using her debit card and PIN number without her permission, because she's no longer
obviously not. Yeah, she obviously didn't do it. So timeline starts off June 2021. Petito and Laundrie embark on their cross-country trip. According to Northport Police, the police chief Todd Garrison refers to Laundrie as Petito's fiance. They plan to travel through Petito with their white Ford. They have a white van. It's like a little transit van. They wanted to go to West Coast, see a bunch of national parks across the United States.
So they started up in New York. They were visiting her family for her brother's graduation, and then they decided that the time was now.
From there, yeah, that was the time to go.
To go embark.
Yeah.
You ever driven cross country?
No. Sort of, I guess. Not across that way. I've driven down country.
Have you done cross country in an effort to enjoy the country, or just drive from point A to point B?
Point A to B for sure. I would love to do a literal cross country, like east to west coast, like Gumball Run or whatever. That'd be cool. But
that would be really fast.
Well, maybe not the same speed, but I would love to do that.
I've done it twice. I've gone from New Jersey out to San Francisco, and I've done it from Arizona back to New Jersey, north route, south route. Had a lot of fun with it. So it is a lot of fun to do. Having a van to do it in as well would probably make things a lot easier.
Yeah, if you get like one of the cool vans. I gotta be honest, from all the videos and stuff I saw, it didn't look like they even had like one of the cool vans. It looks like they had like a regular, like basically like a mini. The difference, like, but not a full size UPS truck, but like the smaller ones. Looked like they had like one of those.
Yeah.
With like they just had had like a 3-seat back seat still. Like there was no like where's like the van life stuff? That's just you rented a van.
Take that seat out, throw a mattress back.
A bed, a TV, a desk,
Something.
a kitchen.
But they're obviously that van life. They're camping everywhere, so more
That's-
power to them. That's what they wanted to do. If I'm going cross country, I'm not doing it to go to national parks.
I'm not
but
scrubbing it like that either.
yeah. So she's an avid vlogger. Well, she was trying to be a vlogger. She had a social media. We'll show some pictures throughout this whole thing of her.
You know, like I said before, the type, you know the type, the van life type. That's like a whole thing. You literally hashtag van life. You'll see. It sounds so terrible.
She
but,
doesn't remind me of someone that would be hashtag van life though.
Oh,
He
you don't
doesn't
think so?
really either. He just reminds me more or less of a serial killer.
Well, yeah. You know what? It's funny. He looks like another serial killer from I saw on a different Netflix documentary thing, where he also killed his wife or fiance or whatever. But yeah, no, that's. I mean, yeah, you're right though. He doesn't really look the type, but I think she does. I think she fits the type.
He looks like that guy who is in the movie from it's like M. Night Shyamalan or something, where he has all his personalities and becomes unbreakable.
Oh yeah. He kind of does. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Professor X.
Some pictures.
Well, you know.
So they plan on using her van to travel over to the West Coast. So a lot of fun. So I can see the desire to do so, especially when you obviously don't have a job and that's the time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't even know how you decide to make that work. Like, yeah, we're just gonna take a few month trip.
So as I was traveling cross country, I maintained regular contact with my family. Not a big phone guy, but I would text. They know whether or not it's me or not. We call now and then. But so she maintained regular contact with her family members during her travels. Communication stopped near the end of August. So when you have that sense of communication with your daughter, you expect that to be maintained.
Kept up, especially when you're on a long cross country trip and whatnot. You would think.
Yeah. So we got a picture here from her Instagram. We'll flash that up as well. Looks like a very happy-go-lucky, very attractive girl.
Yeah, she's a pretty chick.
The whole world ahead of her at this point.
Well, so she thought.
So fast forward, August 12th, 2021. We are in
Moab.
Is that?
Moab.
Moab, Utah. Police encounter a couple on August 12th where the officer describes them have being engaged in an altercation. So we're going to have to throw up some of this body cam footage.
Some body cam, yeah, because they seem like, just regular couple bullshit. You know, regular couple dispute. There was claims of some physical stuff, but it was against him, like from her to him, actually, which is unusual.
So what I heard was that they were fighting, and someone actually called the cops on them to report the domestic disturbance.
That sounds about right. People getting in other people's business.
Cop got behind them, and the very beginning of the body cam footage shows, oh my God, he hit the curb. So he springs into action, talking to him. She's hysterical. He's like, oh crap. I gotta lie my way out of this. Kill her.
He is acting like every guy with his girlfriend or fiance that gets pulled over, and she's acting like every girl that's ever gotten pulled over ever.
Right.
Instantly waterworks across the anxiety and the side, like you just cry, you get your ticket.
Blaming it on underlying issues, whether she had them or not. No one knows who this girl is. We can only go by what that video says. So she has anxiety, and she has OCD. I don't know how OCD affects people. I don't know how really know anyone with it, but it's a disorder.
Yeah, no, it's obsessive compulsive disorder. It's like people that are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
But I don't know how much that can control your life on different days. I can understand like depression.
I mean,
anxiety.
the guy said that. Okay, to put in a little context, in the video, the boyfriend said that she got mad at him for bringing sand or dirt or whatever in the van. So like, I could see that being an OCD thing. Like, oh, there's more sand in the bin. I got to clean it. Like, I could see her being like high strung and flipping out. Like, not to mention that like they probably used to they lived together. I didn't catch that part before that, but like, who knows how close did they live together? Like, how close are quarters? Because like, if you've never been around a person in close quarters for a long time before, if this was the first real test of that for a long time for them, I could see that being extra, extra tense and everything being high strung.
Yeah, moving into your in-laws.
80 square foot van.
Well, family house establishment cannot be easy to begin with.
Yeah, let's not forget that he's Florida water trash.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, Florida is not all Disney and Mickey Mouse here, guys.
No. Most of it's gators and swamp.
Yeah. Look up Florida Man. Have a little fun with that. Florida Man and your birthday. See what comes up. That's always a good time. So, moving on. So, cop pulls him over, and basically, they say that they're engaged to be married. Typical domestic type experience. And the cop more or less deemed it as, let's just put it to bed right now. I'm going to take him to a hotel, separate them, give the keys to Gabby because she's a registered owner of the vehicle, and let them deal with it tomorrow.
Yeah, sleep it off, everyone will be fine.
Did the cop do what he's supposed to do?
I mean, they're driving. It's not like they're residents of his state or anything like that. You know what I mean? That's more than you really. What else would you want them to do? Like take him to jail? Take her to jail? Because she's the one that technically hit him.
Well, I mean, no one saw that, so we don't know.
Yeah, but that's what they're saying. You know what I mean? Like that's what
we don't know.
Reports
also,
are.
Yeah, we don't know also who is the alpha in this relationship. So one would assume it's the guy, and she might be of the mindset where once he says something, she begins to believe it as well, and she's like, "Oh my God, I hit him," and I have no idea, but you've seen that.
I mean, I could see from the clip that I saw, and I'll put up a piece of the way she was like overreact, like, and I don't mean to like say overreact, but overreact like a typical girl overreaction, like which sounds terrible. I don't mean it like that, but I do at the same time. It seemed like she would be the type that could, like, hit him if they were in, like, a heated argument. Like, I feel like I've seen that type of person where she would, like, hit him and then blame it on other things. Like, oh, I'm sorry, it was just, I just got so over, like, but meanwhile, she slapped him in the face, like, 20 fucking times. Like.
Yeah. So the cop reported
But he looks like the kind of dirtbag that would just punch a girl, so.
Yeah.
Or kill her in this instant, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like a scumbag.
So.
Just from the pictures, but.
Yeah,
So, cop reported that both male and female reported that they were in love, they're engaged, and they don't want to see anyone
go to jail. No charges.
No charges, no nothing.
Yeah.
So, police have a difficult situation on their hands in that regard. I honestly think that the cop more or less probably handled it the way that he should have.
You could do it.
He separated them. Who knows what happened afterwards? She might have gone and picked them up right after that.
Probably.
But, I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
they're going to be back together. They're in the middle of Utah.
Yeah, they're traveling together,
right?
Like cross through the state. You think they're not going to get back together and get back in the car and continue traveling on? Like, come on.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a difficult circumstance. So, I think the cop did the right thing here. No charges were filed, and each couple had their own cell phones in case of emergency, and they were able, most likely, to.
So let's cool off.
Gabby, pick
cool
me
off,
up.
yeah, exactly. There was like a cool off period, like you guys would separate from each other for a smidge. You'll figure it out.
So, as I said before, the caller who reported the domestic disturbance to begin with said that the gentleman was slapping the girl. That's a strong term to use when someone is slapping someone else. You're still going to call them a gentleman. Gentleman to me is like,
yeah, that's
you're
not
a nice
that's
person.
not a gentleman. It's not a gentlemanly thing to do to slap a woman, at all. Yeah, it's dude. People are strange. I mean, why wouldn't you go and like? This is the problem. Like those people called the cop. Like if I saw some guy hitting a girl, I'm instantly getting in the middle of that.
Yeah. So the 911 call has a little bit more of a background to it. So the caller says that they ran up and down the sidewalk. He proceeded to hit her, hopped in the car, and they drove off. So that tells a completely different story.
Yeah.
Knowing that,
totally different.
oh man, cop. I don't know, man. That's a tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, you also can't believe anything people say, because people, and like human memory is horrible.
That's true too.
Like horrible.
But this body camera footage right now, this picture down here, she is clearly upset.
Oh yeah, she's crying and shit, like, you know what I mean, like all over the place.
Curious to see where she got hit, to see if there's marks or anything. If you're getting hit, you're going to be red, you're going to be something.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't tell. I mean, it looks like maybe her arm's a little red. Her face is obviously puffy, but she's hysterically crying, so...
Exactly, and it's they're in like fucking Arizona or somewhere in the middle where it's hot as hell. Like,
Yeah.
it's desert where they're standing, like it's not cool there.
Yeah, so... That's tough.
It
tough.
is.
And you know that cop's sitting here now, and he's like, oh my god.
Rocking a hard place.
That's, yeah.
If that was New Jersey, the guy goes to jail. Done.
Cop or...
No, the guy.
I was gonna say, that's a little...
Like Laundrie or whatever, he goes to jail right away. New Jersey doesn't take any shit with domestic violence anymore.
Alright, but how, even, let's say this happened in New Jersey. How long is he staying in jail for? The night?
At least the night.
Okay,
Or at least until he gets bail, so it could be a couple hours.
who's going to be bailing him? It's going to be her.
Probably
She's
her.
going to come bail him
Probably.
out, and they're going to get back in the van
Probably.
and continue their journey because
Probably.
they're in Utah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
It's not like it happened in, like, they started in New
Civilization.
York, so it's not like it happened in New
it's
Jersey. They can
civilization.
just turn
Yeah,
around and
yeah,
go
exactly.
back.
Yeah, like, where that's going to go. Like, it's,
Yeah, you're kind of stuck.
and not to mention, like, if she's trying to be the blogger or vlogger or whatever that she's doing, like, she has to go to these places to make any kind of impact. Like, so
Right.
she has to continue the trip and go to the such and such whatever in Utah.
She's a content creator, John. We know a thing or two about that.
A little bit. A little bit.
All right, so
Don't let him know I'm going to kill him on our trip.
I didn't hear anything, guys. So that was August 12th. Now let's fast forward a little bit longer. Last week of August, Petito's family told police that they were last in contact with her during last week, and the communications were, what was it? Grand Teton? Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming.
Teton's selling titties. Yeah, so that is this, and then the boyfriend made a post from her account as well. Is that there? In the last week of August? Sorry, the timeline's a little confusing.
Yeah, so, well, before we even get to that, they're saying that they were in contact with her a little bit, and then after the fact, they had contact with her a little bit more, or her phone.
Well, yeah, they said that's when the mom got suspicious, and she
Right.
wasn't sure if it was actually her or not.
So, as I said before, if you're a talking family, it's weird to not talk.
To not
it's weird
talk.
to text.
Oh, well, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. In that sense.
So, when you start getting texts from your daughter and she avoids phone calls, that's sparks a red flag. So, now in hindsight, she says that, you know, it didn't add up. The text did not seem like they were from her. So,
Yeah, the mom said the lack of communication freaked her out. Moving on.
So on August 24th, Petito FaceTimes her mother and tells her that she's leaving Utah and heading to Teton Range in Wyoming. So they know that on August 24th, she is still
She's
alive
at least
and well.
alive and moving. Yep, heading in the right direction.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
August 25th, there are multiple texts between Petito and her mother. The woman believes that she is in Teton at this date. I don't know if this is the time frame where she's referring to this not being her, but August 27th, there are more texts between Petito and her mother, which the family believes that they remain in the Tetons. August 30th, her family receives a last text from Petito. They doubt she wrote that text. So this is where we are.
So this is where it
August
is. Okay,
30th.
so that's where, yeah, as I say.
The message reads, no service in Yosemite. So I was in Grand Canyon. There's no service
I'm
anywhere.
sure there's nothing out there. Why would they bother?
So I could see that.
It is a weird thing to text, though, nonetheless. So around that same time in September, a woman publicly claimed that she and her boyfriend gave Laundrie a ride on August 29th in Wyoming. And apparently he had claimed that he'd been camping by himself for a few days while Petito was in their van working on social media posts. So
Trouble in paradise at this point?
maybe. I mean, like, was that the same time that, what was the date that the cop said to separate them? That's later. That was
That was
earlier.
the 12th.
12th. It's a lot of trouble in paradise, it would seem. It's a reoccurring thing.
So he's looking for a ride after camping by himself, and she's in the van. You guys are traveling cross country. You're not being separated.
You're not camping by yourself. Like, would you just, like, pick up a bunch of shit and, like, come on.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, just bought my own new tent and everything. I just decided to go backpacking with no backpack.
So this is where it gets a little fishy, per se.
Sort of.
So, in a series posted on TikTok, of course, TikTok, why not? So Miranda Baker says that her and her boyfriend picked up Laundrie that evening, and he was hitchhiking in Coulter Bay, Wyoming. Laundrie told her that she's been camping outside the Grand Teton National Park. So, at this point, I think it's safe to assume that Gabby is probably dead, right?
Or dying in a ditch somewhere. Why would they be separated? Like, I have so many. Knowing parts of the end of this is confusing too, because all the pieces that we picked up in the media just over time, I'm trying to piece puzzles together. Because like he comes back with the car. So, like how? So like why is he hitchhiking?
Yeah. So they're trying to get to Jackson Hole. So they're going to Jackson Hole instead of Jackson. So that's probably where the van is. And so he's probably trying to get back to there in order to drive it back home. So he got agitated at that moment, and he got out of the car, and they continued on. So what the police is saying, we don't know if she definitely did or not. I guess her post seems genuine.
Could be, yeah. Like, you never know.
I don't know if this was a thing as of yet, or if she's just like, hey, I spoke to him, let me get my 20 minutes of fame here.
Yeah, I need my 10 seconds of fame for sure. It could honestly go either way.
So then she says that she picked up Laundrie not far from Jackson Lake Dam on August 29th and gave him a ride to Spread Creek, and that is where Petito's remains were later found. So he's there. Right?
I mean, that's a person pinning him to the location, I'd say.
Yeah, so it showcases that he's there.
Laundrie, and at the same time, according to that same guy, Norma, I'm sorry, according to her, Laundrie said that he and his fiance had a travel blog, and that she was in their van camping, working on the blog, all in the same spot. He had been hiking alone since Snake River embankment hiking alone for a few days along Snake River. Really?
Why are you alone, dude? There's so many questions that this guy's gonna have to answer.
And like, if you're hiking along the river, wouldn't she hike along with you for the travel blog? It seems like the spot you would want to take a bunch of pictures for.
Yeah. Yeah. So, fast forward to September 1st now, right? Laundrie returns to the couple's Northport home. So, this was the last week of August, and we're talking about the final text that her family received from Petito on August 30th. August 29th is when they're saying that the TikToker saw her, and now we are saying that September 1st, he returns home to where his parents live
With the van. Mm-hmm.
Without her. So Gabby Petito is not with him. That is a problem in and of itself, clearly.
Yeah, like where? Like where is she gonna go? Like where is she? You guys live together. Where did she go?
So he is camping. Let's just put this together, piecemeal it together for all you children playing at home.
Trying to follow along.
He's camping by himself, right?
And backpacking and hiking.
Because she's doing her travel blog and all that stuff. And she has the van. Yeah. She has the van. So he either went to the van and just drove it home and didn't say anything, didn't report her missing or anything like that. Didn't think twice about it. Was just like, you know what?
She went out. I'll just take it home.
I'm good.
I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go home. I'm good. Or he killed her, dumped her body, and went back. But
like, he's Florida trash. So he probably was like, well, that van's like $12,000, so I can get that van, sell that van for like $12,000.
So he gets the van. Obviously, he was agitated with the TikToker. Gets the van. Who knows if she is dead at this point or not. Maybe he's just trying to get out of there. I don't know.
To cool off more.
Yeah, there's something clearly going on at this point. And so he told the TikToker that his fiance has a travel blog and that's why she's camping in the van doing this stuff or whatever. So TikToker doesn't think too much about it, right? Until afterwards you start piecing all this stuff together. So according to the affidavit attached to the search warrant request, the license plate matches what was on the
right.
So
On the interstate.
So the white vehicle Petito and Laundrie had been traveling in was later recovered by police at the home. It was processed and there was some material in there. Material evidence, just some material. This van is very distinct. You got steel rims, you got faded headlights, you got a faded bumper.
Yeah, it's
not the van that you'd think that a 22-year-old girl is going to go out and buy.
It's also not the kind of van that looks like the travel people van, like the van people vans. It's a small transit van.
But it does look like the van that you would have if you were thinking about killing someone with.
I mean, it's more serial killer white van than it is travel blog white van.
Yeah.
Well, the 6th of September, Laundrie family goes to the campground about 75 miles away from their home in early September.
So as you get back from vacation,
you just go on another.
So your family,
Florida.
So at this point, your family is now accomplices, right?
Like they weren't like, yeah. When you walked in, I imagine they were probably like, "Hey, how was your guys' vacation? You and your new fiance. Oh, where is she? ... question mark. Like what?
No, they were prepped and ready for this. They knew because obviously there's not going to be text messages. Maybe there is because this guy's probably stupid. But
he's definitely not very smart. He went back out of the van
and then drove it home.
Yeah,
without her. Or at least go missing for a little bit by yourself too, man. Like
drive the van off a cliff. Something like at least
have some time.
Try. At least try. Like.
So they go. He comes back from camping for about a month, and instantly the family's like, you know what? I don't think too much about this. Gabby's not here. I'm not even gonna question it.
Yeah.
You know what's a good idea? You know what to get your mind off things?
Fishing trip.
Let's go camping. Let's go get some gators.
That's right.
Let's go get some gators.
Getting them gator.
So, at this point, it's abundantly clear that the family is
at least
an accomplice.
They must be killed. I mean, you have to question like, where's your fiance, right? You have to.
Right. So I can only imagine at this point that Gabby's family is going crazy as well. Can't get answers, doing somersaults, trying to figure out what the hell's going on. So they are there from September 6th through September 8th. So on September 11th, let's fast forward a little bit more.
Yeah.
September 11th, a horrible day for everyone to begin with, especially a family that is from New York.
Yeah.
They have another nightmare happen to them. They realize that their daughter is not coming back.
Yeah, so it's definitely not.
So, after being not able to be in touch with her, Petito's family, who lives in New York, reports her missing to the police in Suffolk County, New York. Northport authorities go to Laundrie's home that night and ask to speak to him, but his family, and they were essentially handed the information for their attorney. So that means that they were
guilty as fuck. So the minute you say, I'm declined to answer any questions, talk to my attorney, means you're guilty as a motherfucker.
Yeah. So at that moment, police instantly know that you are guilty or
you're at the very least a suspect.
At the very least.
At the very least a suspect.
And most likely the murderer, or at least have enough information available to put all the pieces together.
Yeah. Tell what, we're getting search warrants at the very least.
So that's the extent of their conversation. And cops, obviously, at this point, are frantic to figure this out.
Yeah, and the Petito family as well, obviously. They went on the news all over the place, reading their letters about just pleading and begging anyone, but really more specifically Laundrie, to come out and say where it is and what you did.
So trying to put myself in their perspective, and I don't think I ever could. You're a parent. losing someone in your life to begin with is always extremely hard, but they say the hardest thing to ever have happen to you is to lose a child.
Yeah, they say, like, you're not supposed to bury your kids. It's the whole
You're
thing.
not supposed to bury your kids,
it's
exactly.
the whole thing. You're never supposed to bury your kid.
So that week of trying to figure out where she is, that must be gut-wrenching.
Just brutal on every sense. I can't even...
So, Petito's family gets a lawyer because... To me, that's weird, though, right? Your daughter's missing. How many times, if your daughter is missing, do you hire an attorney?
I think just in the case, I think they're just trying to make sure that, or my thought is, they were coming from maybe the mindset of, like, let's just make sure that we know the kid did something. We know that the boyfriend, husband, fiance, had something to do with her missing at the very least. Let's make sure he at least pays for it, or we go through the right proper channels to make sure that he doesn't just get off scot-free.
Why is that your thought at this point? My thought would be, you have a lawyer already. There's no confirmation that your kid is dead.
I think they just assumed at this point.
But wouldn't
It's been
you
11 days.
But why a lawyer? I can't fathom that idea of the lawyer. Wouldn't you be through the cops 100% at this point? Until you get confirmation that...
Definitely
what is the benefit of the lawyer at this point?
It just speaks for you. It speaks on your behalf. I guess. You know what I mean? Because I'm at this point, too, I'm sure they were probably getting just attacked by, like, news and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
So, to me, I put myself in and this is all speculative, which means that it's fact, because
we're absolute experts.
So, on September 16th, this is 5 days. We'll call it 5 days after they report her missing, right? Police go down there and try to talk to him, and they get given an attorney. I'm a dad, right? In this particular situation. My daughter goes cross country with you. You come back without my daughter.
I'm going.
You're not answering anyone.
I'm going to my house.
I'm going to you.
Yeah, I'm showing up at your house.
So,
like,
Brian is missing now. I have a lawyer as the family. You're missing. Why do I have a lawyer? It's because I killed you.
Because you murdered me. Yeah.
Or you are dying a very slow death somewhere in an undisclosed location.
Sure. Yeah, it's only for protection. There's no other real reason.
Or it could just be that the guy's a scumbag and ran away. But until we get to that point in the timeline, these are my speculative thoughts.
Who knows? Let's see, where are we now? To the 17th?
So still on the 16th, so reading the pleas from the family, and it's gut-wrenching, it really is. Quotes from them: please, if you or your family have any decency left, please tell us where Gabby is located. So they don't know where the body is at this point. Tell us we're looking in the right place. All we want is Gabby to come home. Please help us make this happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Petito's family reached out to Laundrie's family earlier in the month for information about Petito's whereabouts, but his family refused to answer because they're Florida trash, just like he is. Apparently, this is a quote from the family as well, from Petito's family: "We haven't been able to eat or sleep. Our lives are falling apart," which is what you'd expect if your child was missing. It's 100%. Like, it's not even...
So next day, September 17th at this point, several days have passed, and both Petito's family and police pleading with Laundrie's family to cooperate with the investigation. Laundrie's family requests that the police come to their home. Wow. Where they share that they haven't seen Brian since September 14th. Now all of a sudden you
haven't seen him?
You report your son missing?
Yeah, he's more like they figured it out. They were like, best course of action for you, son, is to run, and then we'll say we haven't seen you. That's how the conversation went.
Yeah, we've been trying all week to talk to him and his family, and now they say that, this is such... Does anyone believe this?
I don't know how you could. It doesn't even it doesn't make any sense. It's all just made up. Clearly.
That they haven't seen their son, and somehow Chris Cuomo got this story, got this quote.
That's what I was talking about. That's why I was speculating with the lawyer for them, because it's already like national news. So like the lower level like news reporters are probably bothering the fuck out of the family.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely true. So So Bertolino, the Laundrie family attorney, tells CNN that the whereabouts are currently unknown for Brian. No one knows where he is, apparently. Right. The FBI is currently at their Laundrie residence removing property to assist in locating Brian. As of now, the FBI is now looking for both Gabby and Brian. So they have no idea. And at this moment, on September 17th, local and federal authorities kick off a national search, more or less, for a 23-year-old man, and they've obviously already been looking for Gabby.
Exactly.
So this guy's only 23.
He's a real scumbag.
So September 18th, Northport police say authorities are conducting a search for Laundrie at the Carlton Reserve, a nature area, more than 80 miles of hiking trails in Venice, Florida.
Like, this girl could be anywhere at this point. You know what I mean? Like, literally the entire country, its length.
Well, so they're not even looking for her at this point. They're looking for him. Well, obviously in Florida, you're looking for him.
Yeah,
you have the police out in Utah looking for her. And then...
I'm just saying, you're going to find some guy in an 80-mile radius, hiking trails.
Especially someone who is... It's not like it's me who is like, you know what, I got to get the hell out of here. Like,
yeah. Like,
I'm going to go hit the trails. This guy lives out there.
He, like, hikes there all the time.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Weird.
Yeah. Very.
So 50 law enforcement officers from 5 local agencies and the FBI are searching for Laundrie. There's an enormous amount of pressure on him to provide answers on what's going on. So at this point, he's the only
Fugitive from
suspect,
justice.
right?
Yeah, like...
But, so let's say he comes forward, right? Pleads the fifth. How can they...
I don't know. They're gonna have to find DNA of first at this point find that she's not dead or alive. You know.
Well, fast forward, we know that she's dead, but like, it's all circumstantial evidence, right?
Like 99% of it. There's no real DNA or anything proving.
But even if there is DNA, they're husband and wife. They're traveling together.
I mean,
it's
when
not
I
like
say I mean like blood DNA. I mean, there's that van's probably covered in semen. Let's be real.
right. But yeah. All right. So even if you find Gabby's blood on his clothes, does that prove anything?
Not necessarily, but at least it makes more of like a. It's tough, man. Yeah, it really is. It really is circumstantial.
Yeah. So.
Let's fast forward to the 19th. The human remains discovered in Teton County.
So this
Wyoming.
is where Petito's family's lives
Yeah.
change forever.
Oh yeah, for 100%. If they didn't already have that in the back of their minds, this was obviously where they found out for sure, or almost definitively anyhow.
Yeah, so human remains were found in Teton County, Wyoming, and they're consistent with the description of the Petito, of Gabby Petito.
Anyway,
You good?
human remains discovered in Teton County, Wyoming. That is consistent with the description of Petito. The FBI officials, that's what they told everyone. They said full forensic investigation, or identification rather, has not been confirmed for 100% that it's found Gabby, but her family has been notified of the discovery.
So you know that it's her, right?
I mean, it looks like her, probably her.
So next day, September 20th, the parents of Brian Laundrie are questioned at their home by the FBI. Christopher and Roberta Laundrie are escorted from their home and returned after federal agents executed a search warrant. According to Taylor from North Point Police, authorities searched the home for hours. Police say they have exhausted search avenues at the nature reserve and search area has shifted. They don't state if they found anything. Chances are they did not find anything because he was not there when he killed her.
Yeah.
So police searched their house and the nature reserve where he went camping. So September 21st, Teton County Coroner confirms the human remains that were found on Sunday are those
Gabby.
of Gabby Petito.
Yep, let's say it's 100% her now. The cause of death, though, is pending final autopsy results. So they say. I feel like at this point they know.
We can probably make speculative guesses.
Murder by fiance?
That would probably be one that would probably warrant some points.
Yeah.
Homicide would be the one that would probably
It's the-
group it all together.
That's the jackpot one.
23 years old, man, murdered by someone that you're supposed to live the rest of your life with and trust forever.
Yeah. It's insane.
As a parent, I don't know if there's a worse, like, kid getting murdered in a car accident for something that's complete and utter accident. You have a break-in, like, that line of fire maybe sort of thing, but like,
Those are bad too.
but this I feel like has to hurt more because they trust you.
Yeah, they had to have a relationship with this kid too, right? Like you'd think, like, or are we just getting a piece of like the media side? Like, did the mom and Gabby really ever talk, or is this the mom trying to take her 5 seconds of fame or whatever? Like, oh, well, and we talked all the time. Now, and then all of a sudden she just stopped talking, blah, blah, or like, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, maybe we find out that she never even met the boyfriend or whatever. Who knows? Like,
I feel like if you're engaged, you have to have something, but...
Dude, Florida.
Well, they also did go to the...
He's a
left
Florida
from-
person.
But they left from her parents' house, so...
Yeah, but he's a Florida person.
That is true. If you haven't Googled Florida man, your birthday yet, do that. Alright, so...
23rd?
Yeah, September 23rd, the authorities continue to search for Laundrie at the Carlton Reserve, the FBI announces, and they have issued a federal arrest warrant for him.
Yeah. It's the federal, so the warrant.
It's not for murder, by
Yeah,
the way.
it's not exactly. It's not for anything like you would think. It's because, well, the official term is use of unauthorized devices, which in layman's terms means he used her cell phone.
And PIN number,
And
debit
bank
card.
card, debit card, yeah.
So there's probably...
But still.
What a dick.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Don't get me wrong.
So while this warrant allows law enforcement to arrest Laundrie, the FBI and their partners are across the country continue to investigate the facts and circumstances. This is a statement coming from the police. We urge individuals with knowledge of Mr. Laundrie's role in the matter and his current whereabouts to contact the FBI. Laundrie is suspected of using a debit card and PIN number for accounts that don't belong to him and charges of more than $1,000 sometime between August 30th and September 1st. So,
Not a big window there.
the FBI has gone on national television or made a national broadcast statement to say that this guy has an arrest warrant out for him for using someone else's PIN number and debit card in charges in excess of $1,000.
Something that you could just steal in California worth and just get a ticket. Let's put it in for comparison, like perspective. So,
Clearly that was issued as a way to bring him in.
Yeah, no, it's like, the tax evasion for the famous mobsters.
So now this is where it gets good.
Really
So
good.
on September 23rd, you have the FBI doing searches. They are looking for him everywhere. No leads, cold case, at least that's what they're telling us. Insert Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Go
What did he
Christ,
find?
bro.
What did he find?
Go Christ. He instantly gets a lead.
Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Almost immediately. That's right. Almost immediately. So the TMZ reality star, according to TMZ, the reality star who joined the search last week for Petito's fiancee and suspected murderer Brian Laundrie received a tip almost immediately that led him to his wife and her campsite in Florida. Dog reportedly thinks that he found proof that links Laundrie's parents to it. Who knows? Two camping reservations at the campsite were under their name from September 1st to the 3rd, as well as the 6th to the 8th. According to the report, Laundrie was seen driving a small camper. Dog also received a tip that Brian himself was reportedly spotted at the campsite in the last few days. So who knows?
There is also another account that said that there was cameras entering the campsite from September 1st to September 3rd, and Brian was with him, or with the family, when they entered the campsite. They later left. Brian was not with them, and they later returned from the 6th, and naturally he wasn't with them again, and was not with him when they left. So, clearly, they aided and abetted him.
It would seem so. At least tried to give him like an alibi of sorts, kind of.
So, Dog received the tip that Brian himself was reportedly spotted at the campsite in the last few days, and he plans to continue to search and find more tracks. So, hopefully, Dog is able to succeed in locating Brian where the federal authorities have not. Dog, I don't know anything about this guy. All I know is he is Dog the Bounty Hunter. I don't know if
I
he's
imagine
actually
he's
the
exactly
bounty
what
hunter.
you see on the surface, right?
But this guy was able to manage to find a lead by maybe he's able to utilize methods that are not available to the authorities.
Yeah, not necessarily on the up and up
Legally.
legal per se.
But he was able to do it and did. And basically
Apparently.
just wiped the FBI clean.
Apparently, if you're looking for somebody, you call Dog. That's
Apparently.
it. That's like, there's money on the line. How much money was there offering? Not a lot either, if I recall.
No idea. No idea. But, so at the time, Brian told his parents that he was going to the nearby Carlton Reserve, basically saying that he was going, not that they were going with him. He left his wallet and his cell phone at home, and his parents were reportedly concerned that he could hurt himself. But after weeks of searching, Brian didn't come up and still hasn't. Though he hasn't been charged with her murder, Brian has a federal arrest warrant for using his or her debit card.
It's just kind of crazy. That's what it is. Just recently, the attorney for Gabby Petito's family spoke out about the Laundrie's family's, or their lack of help, I should say, and the FBI's ongoing search for Brian. The Laundries did not help us find Gabby. They said they're sure not going to help us try to find Brian. They spoke out directly. This was directed towards Brian. For Brian, we're asking you to return yourself in to the FBI or the nearest law enforcement agency.
Never gonna happen.
Never in a million years. In a million, like, you could ask all you, like, this is what I understand. Like, that's just wasted effort, wasted breath for this family. Like, why even bother going on TV asking for him to? You think that he's just gonna suddenly have a change of heart, be like, all right, I'll tell you, I'm done.
This guy's reeling for his life right now. No matter what, he's going to be the, what was it, Casey Anthony or
More or less. Florida.
Florida.
You guys know how to make them.
So, September 29th, lawyer for the Laundrie family, Stephen Bertolino, has confirmed that the Brian Laundrie had purchased a burner phone, and his parents helped basically conceal him. Why are you buying a burner phone, man? Because you have nothing to hide.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Because I just need a new cell phone.
So we're already finding inconsistencies in the family's
All the stories.
story.
All of them.
Hey, so the way that this came up, and I assume that this is where Dog's tip came from. I'm just camping with my family. I'm taking a selfie. I'm looking at it later. Holy crap, that's Brian Laundrie behind me. Let me make some phone calls. There's a camera everywhere, man.
Nowadays.
You can't commit a crime
Everywhere.
anywhere. I guess unless you're in a national forest. But you rob a bank, there's an ATM camera.
There's a million cameras everywhere.
You rob someone's house,
Million.
you're getting recorded by someone's doorbell. Like, it's crazy how it's changed. But
Everywhere.
so now, yeah, it's getting crazy here. So it's been 10 days at this point since Mr. Laundrie had disappeared on the same day that he was made a person of interest. And the worst thing is that police rejected a tip saying that there was no reported sightings of anyone who resembled Laundrie in the area. However, reporters later confirmed that the Laundries had stayed in the campground in early September, just days before Petito was reported missing.
How do police not find that, but reporters do?
Who knows if this article is actually true or not.
I think maybe the police a lot of times just don't give out all the information because they don't want to let the killer or potential killer know that they're onto them and stuff like that sometimes. So I think that was maybe more of that.
So there's one final piece of this. Stephen Bertolino, the attorney representing Brian Laundrie's family, confirmed on Tuesday that they all did go on a camping trip together, and the lawyer denied that the parents helped him go into hiding, insisting that all three Laundries came back from the campsite. But there are videos.
Yeah, they're clearly not.
And are you ready for the final twist for all of this?
The M. Night Shyamalan twist.
And what is also going to wind up most likely being Brian Laundrie's alibi or something to prove that it wasn't him. The body of another hiker, Robert Lowry, was also recently found in the same forest where Miss Petito's remains were located.
That's who did it, for sure. And then he died. That's what I'd say if I was Brian.
I witnessed it. He killed her. I don't know what happened to him afterwards.
I just ran.
I ran and drove.
I just ran and got away. I was in shock. That's why I didn't think about, I just didn't know what to do. And then I went back. And all I found was the van with nothing there, the keys in it, so I just drove home.
Yeah. Or there's the aspect of this man's death is...
That dude, he killed him too. Maybe Brian killed this dude too.
That could be true. Maybe
that dude saw.
her. Maybe he saw.
And then he's like, fuck, alright, now I gotta kill you.
Or it could be another aspect of being completely unrelated, and the same person, not Brian, saw or killed both Robert and Gabby.
Yeah.
Insert Law and Order sound.
Or another possible twist, ready? That dude and Gabby had a little thing they were getting it on.
Randomly?
Little OJ type of scenario.
In the
Dude,
middle of Utah.
these van life people, they got a following. Two van life people meet up out there.
Two van life people. Oh,
Dude, you never know, man. They have these van life meetups and stuff. These van life people are weird.
So following along with that, so Brian's out camping by himself because Gabby's
That's
getting
normal.
freaky with Mr. Robert over here. And so he's all pissed off because she met someone else who treated her nicely.
Mhm.
And he's like, you know what? I gotta do something. So he OJ'd her
That's what I'm saying. OJ Sitch. That's what I'm saying.
and killed her and her lover.
And the waiter or whatever. The story is old as time itself.
Yeah, as long as there's no gloves, he'll be fine.
Yeah, Oof. Messy.
So, as of now, we are currently dated September 29th. I don't know when this will be posted, but it is in that general time frame. I don't know how anyone can see this story, hear this story, piece together any portion of this story, and not think that this guy is guilty.
He's guilty as fuck, right?
So, getting back to what we were saying before, how do you, as the authorities, say that he is the murderer? I mean, so let's
tough to
say
pin on
he
Stuff.
strangled her, right? So you'd be able to match the marks of that.
Maybe. It's been a while.
But what else? How else? Like, you're not going to find... You know that they're together. You're not going to find a hair. You're not going to find semen. You're not going to find...
Well, all that stuff's going to be everywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
that's
just
not
gonna
going to be the
everywhere.
evidence
it's not
link.
The thing that's going to get you now. There's got to be like a murder. You got to... I mean, they know, like... I guess it would help if we knew how she died, per se. Because, like, then there's... if he stabbed her or something, there's got to be a murder weapon or whatever. Like, so...
Yeah. I mean, so... This guy is super guilty, right?
He's got to be. Like,
But even if he's not, right? So... By saying something, you're going to incriminate yourself. If you don't say something, you look super guilty,
you look guilty as
but you're
fuck.
not going to incriminate yourself. But it's always guilty.
He's fucked no
until-
matter what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to be innocent until you're proven guilty, but that's not the case.
No.
Especially when the media is concerned. Like, forget it.
No. He's going to be made out to be a martyr.
Dude, no matter what, yeah. Like, this dude, best case scenario for this dude. Everyone in the world only hates him and thinks that he killed this girl for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I don't know any details of the Casey Anthony case. I know her name. I want to say maybe she killed her kids or something like that.
Oh, she definitely killed her kids.
So that's the
Her
girl.
kid, at least.
So,
At least one.
So she's going to live in infamy for the rest of her life. You got O.J. Simpson. This guy Brian Laundrie, you have his family who is now, but as a parent, so this kid comes home, your son comes home and says, I killed her.
I killed her. Like, what do you do? I mean, do you not try to help him? It's as fucked up that, like, should you put the government and the law above your own flesh and blood?
You say that, yeah, but when it's your kid, it's like...
Do you, though? Like, I know the answer should be yes. Like, he broke the law, but, like, that's Nazi shit. That's literally Nazi shit. That's, like, socialism. Like, he went against the party. I don't care if he's my father.
Did you ever see...
That's literally, a video that Hitler used. Like, or Stalin used.
That's
like,
communist shit, man. Like, that's all they...
So, like... I feel if my dad or mom came in and they were like, I killed somebody, I'd be like, all right, let's hide this body.
Right. We're helping.
Where's the body?
Right?
Where's the body? Let you take you and your phone and go the fuck somewhere else. I'm gonna go take care of this body. Like,
yeah, and then we'll get our story straight.
yeah, like.
You ever see not the exact same thing, but I think it's John Q, the movie where Denzel Washington as a kid has cancer.
Yeah, you
need surgery.
Yep.
Insurance won't help him. So what does he do? He makes sure he holds the doctor hostage until he performs that surgery and is willing to give up his own heart in order to make sure that his son
lives.
There's things that you do as a parent.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And I don't want kids. And like I can only imagine. Like I can only imagine. Like from what I feel for my nephew and what I felt for like my animals in the past. Like I can only imagine how deep I would feel for a child. There's no way.
How do you?
There's no way I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like,
Right?
There's no way I wouldn't instantly jump to attention and be like, what can I do to try to fix this?
Yeah, there's no ounce of being that you would turn your back on them.
There's no, so I get it. Like,
Right.
as much as I like to joke and say like they're terrible foreign people and shit like that, but like honestly, they're the kind of people that they always have your back. You know, talking about like family before all or whatever. That's the kind of.
Yeah, technically they're not saying anything, so I mean, yeah, aiding and abetting, a fugitive, blah blah blah, but they gotta prove
If they
that.
can, if they can prove it.
And at that point, technically, he's not a fugitive. So
He was just a suspect in question.
I mean, they're just the type of people that literally as soon as their son gets home, then they're like, you know what? I'm so jealous that he went camping everywhere.
So
like,
we're gonna go camping. Let's all go. Like,
he came home and went camping on the same day. Did you? Or did you
I mean, it
just
seems
go
weird.
running?
I mean, it seems weird. For sure.
So, I'm interested. I didn't care about this case at all. My wife mentioned it to us, and I didn't care about it.
I mean,
Now-
I'm more interested in doing it because we're obviously a little more vested. But
I want to get my pitchforks. I want to go get on the dog bounty hunter bandwagon. I want to get down there, and I want to go search some national parks, try to find this guy.
I mean, if anyone can find him, like we said, dog's the guy that's gonna,
Yeah.
you know.
What about that new show on Netflix, Clickbait? You see that yet?
I know what you're talking about. I haven't. It's got Vincent.
Yeah.
Vince in it.
Vinny Chase.
Yeah.
Got Vinny Chase
Come
in
on.
it.
I haven't watched it. Have you watched it?
Yeah, we literally, I don't like admitting this, but we literally watched the entire thing in one day.
That's awesome.
So,
So it's good then.
it was good.
Or at least enthralling enough to keep you hooked.
Not super amazing, but the concept of what I'm saying in there is, so without really giving anything up, Vinny Chase goes missing. He is kidnapped per se or whatever, and the search party that is going after him is basically coordinated by an app. So there's basically a Google Maps version of this like search and rescue type thing.
Okay.
So like John's search party can go and say, I searched
Yeah, we covered
X.
area
Right.
Z and like we did this.
Exactly. So then everyone, it's open source, so everyone's able to go and search and do this stuff. I don't know if that app is real or not, but that is something that is, if it's not real, it's going to exist for this, because now you're going to have people doing the exact same thing. But I say that because there's so much interest in this, the same way that it was interest in theoretically in the show, where everyone was involved.
Yeah.
So let's say that someone does find this guy, he might kill another person, like
Or get killed by an angry mob.
right.
Like get
Yeah.
some real like real justice from people. or potentially not justice, because if he is innocent, imagine like getting wrongfully accused in today's day. You're fucked. You're fucked.
I mean, the most recent case, it's not even wrongfully accused. The guy was recently convicted, Derek Chauvin, with the George Floyd case. There's video evidence of him, everything. I get that. But as soon as that was released, it wasn't innocent until proven guilty. It wasn't convicted by a trial of your peers.
Guilty as fuck. Day one.
His life was over at that moment.
From the second that happened.
Yeah. And granted, it was on video. But there's no way.
Dude,
once it's national news, it's over.
Yeah, the minute the news takes it.
Yeah. So we covered a lot here. I'd like to say that we'll continue this timeline maybe sometime in the future.
Yeah,
but that's where we stand right now with this. I'm intrigued by it.
I want to see how it ends.
Yeah.
You
I
know
hope
what I mean?
that this girl gets justice. I'm interested to see what the cause of death is. They might not release that as public information just yet, but eventually they will.
Oh, as I said, we'll know eventually for sure.
Do you think this Brian guy is alive now?
Yeah.
You think? No. Well, I don't know.
Think he suicided himself?
There's so many different ways it can go, and there's also the fact that like he lives off the land to begin with. He
Or
can
to some
very
extent or
easily.
something like that. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, I don't know. And we don't know like if he does drugs or anything either, so like there's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that we don't know.
It's hard to hide nowadays. It's not like back in the olden days where you were a bank robber and it was like you'd have this sketch up from one town to the next. You can go.
Oh, you mean hard to hide in general now?
Yeah.
I thought you meant hard to hide drugs. I was like, people hide their drug addictions all the time. No, yeah, hard to physically hide as a person. Yeah, I would say it's much harder now.
Because he's everywhere. His face is everywhere. Everyone with a cell phone, so everyone in America knows what this guy looks like. He's not going to avoid everyone forever.
The only thing he's got going for him is that people are going to be overly reporting. Anyone that looks kind of like him, like they're probably the police and shit are probably fielding so many bullshit calls that are like there's ones that aren't right.
Yeah. And you know that I feel like his parents eventually are going to have to lead him to them.
To go in, yeah.
Indirectly, they will. Something will happen.
The FBI just definitely has people watching their family and everything like that. Like like just monitoring any kind of data that comes out in the air or anything.
Well, I don't even know if the FBI has that kind of manpower. They got dog on it, so.
I mean that just shows that they're inefficient at their job, or very efficient at their jobs, keeping them. You know.
So, we'll update as this plays out a little bit more, guys. You guys will probably be more in tune with it than we will.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed this. If you guys enjoyed these types of, well, not the fact that she's dead, rest in peace to her, but I enjoyed this type of
longer form conversation, you
Right.
know.
So let us know what you guys think. You guys enjoy these types of discussions, just this back and forth rambling type of thing, just casual conversation between two friends, or you guys like the 3 topics, 3 minutes each, maybe a little bit of both.
Let us know.
Let us know down below. Comment. Also, did he do it? What's the verdict? Let us know down below as well.
We know we did. We all know the verdict. Or we all know.
That's true. Make sure you guys like, give us that thumbs up. Thank you guys for being here.